Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Kaiva Rose and I'm here to offer you the astrology insight for the week of November 15th through the 21st. And before I begin, I would like to sincerely thank all my patrons for all of your support. And if you find that you're tuning into these videos on a daily basis and you want to become a patron and receive these videos ahead of the general public, you can go to patreon.com/Kaiva Rose. So this week we do have a lot going on. The way I kind of look at things going on right now, it's almost like this power dynamic, this power structure, this thing is getting cracked open. And as it is getting cracked open, there's this like coming together with people that perhaps maybe you didn't always used to agree with. And that's what this week is kind of saying. It's like, okay, maybe we didn't always used to see eye to eye, or maybe I didn't used to think that this could be my future, this was my role. But now this week, things are kind of cracking open and it's saying like, all right, let's settle our differences so that we can come together and make greater changes happen. So that we can really knock over those traditions, those standards, those norms that have held us back from really being able to grow and evolve. So this week can be a powerful week to really settle the differences that you have with other people. Allow yourself to really recognize that maybe your ideas of what the future was going to be are no longer. Maybe the beliefs you had no longer are. Maybe the role that you thought you were going to play no longer is. And so in a lot of ways this week, we want to be fully present with what are we merging together with? What are these feelings that we're healing? Because there's an opportunity this week to really continue to break down and crack open that power structure, that structure that's holding us back, and really make some powerful changes happen. But it does require us all to kind of say like, all right, I'm going to let that belief go. I'm going to let that idea go because I'd rather heal or I'd rather come together with other people to see greater changes happen. Starting this week's astrology report on Wednesday, November 15th, we have Mercury sextile Venus. Today can be a good day to do some creative writing, some creative thinking, but it's also a good day to actually communicate with other people and remain open-minded around what truth is, around what justice is. Today is a good day to actually bounce ideas back and forth without any commitment to one way of looking at a situation because the future is still unwritten. So it's a good day to bounce ideas back and forth to really come to an understanding of what is truth, what is justice, what is right, what is equal, what is harmony. This is a good day to bounce those ideas back and forth as people's minds are more inclined to kind of think more constructively, more equality. And so, but again, don't be too strongly holding on to your own beliefs, your own ideas. Otherwise, it's not going to go so great because you have to remember, nobody really knows what is the best idea because the future is still unwritten. We don't necessarily have the greatest idea of what would be uniting for this entire planet, for this entire world, this entire nation, for you and your relationship. So today is like just bounce ideas back and forth, get creative, think optimistically, but again, don't cling on to some ideas too strongly. On Friday the 17th, we have Mars trine Neptune and the Sun trine Neptune. Today is a powerful day for envisioning what do we want the future to look like. At the end of the day, I have this vision in my mind when the moon is sextile Uranus, where we're kind of standing on a new structure, watching the old structure, the old habits, the old patterns just crack open and break down. And so today we want to be very mindful of how are we coming together with other people to create a greater force of power. Are we doing it consciously or are we doing it unconsciously? Because if we're doing it consciously, this allows us to fully illuminate the depths of our connection, the depths of our power, the strength of our power, and saying like, how do we want to envision the future? What do we want to happen in the future? What sort of force are we creating? What is the purpose of this force and this collective energy? What are we looking for in the future? And on a personal level, this allows us to really confront those deep feelings and to continue to gut out the ugly and heal the wounds so that we can really say, what do we want our future to look like? We need to be more conscious and aware of those habits, those things that we do that go round and round and round. But the more aware of those we become, the easier it is to acknowledge those feelings that keep us in those cycles, because then it's easier to break out of those cycles when we heal the ugly, when we confront those deep wounds. And so today, like I said, it's a powerful day for envisioning the future. As we merge together with other people to create a greater force of power, what are we creating? What does that future look like? And on another note, there could be a huge force of power that might shake all of our worlds and create a foggy future. It could be one of the two. I'm hoping for the first option, where we consciously come together with people, and it's probably both, where we consciously come together with people and really say, like, what do we want our future look like? Because we're being confronted with things that are really causing us to say, like, all right, we've got to settle our differences, come together and make the world a better place, envision a world that we want to live in. On Saturday the 18th, we have the Sun conjunct Mars. Today there are a lot of sensitivities around the powerful transformations taking place, and so you want to be able to look at your ideas of what you thought the future were going to be and really assess, do I need to hang on to this belief? Do I need to hang on to this idea? Do I need to hang on to this role that I thought I was going to play? Or can I allow myself to see what is actually growing? Because something is actually growing, a new tradition, a new standard, a new norm. And so honor what is growing and let go of those old ideas of what the future was gonna be. Forget about those for now. Focus on what is growing, because you want to be able to use this awareness to help you fully illuminate these feelings that you have, to fully help you come together with other people and merge in power and say, like, this is the power structure that we are creating because this is the force that we are up against. And so today we want to acknowledge that this is about settling those differences again. It's about saying, like, okay, maybe this was my idea of what is right and what the future was going to look like, but maybe I can let that go, because I'd rather allow myself to embrace what is growing, and so that I can come together with people that perhaps I didn't always see eye to eye with, but now I see the value. I see our roles that we play now. And so today, get your head out of the future and pay attention to where you are in this present moment, what is growing, what feelings need to be healed so that you can fully allow that to grow, and how you need to come together with other people so that this can fully grow as well. On Monday the 20th, we have the first quarter moon at 27 degrees Aquarius and the Sun sextile Pluto. Today there is a need to release those fixed ideas, those fixed beliefs, that fixed idea of this is what I represent, therefore I must always represent this to the world. That is not true. Today we really want to check in, what do we represent? Because this is about letting go so that we can fully merge together with other people to create a greater force of power, because today there can be this ability to actually knock down and confront that power dynamic in a very powerful way. But it has this sense of saying, like, I don't want to represent this anymore. I don't like where this is going. I'm no longer going to play this role. This is not the future that I want any longer. And so making that choice actually allows you to fully merge with other people and be a greater force of power. And today can be a day where a force of power gets knocked down in a powerful way, or at least transformed. And as well, on a personal level, it's really saying, like, all right, I need to let go of these ideas of what I thought the future was going to be, what I thought I represent, because now that I'm confronting these feelings deep inside of me, these things no longer really resonate. I don't want to represent this anymore. I don't really want this to be my future, because these ugly feelings that are coming up, I'm healing them, and I see that this is no longer what I want. And so today can be a very powerful day of just transforming those structures in our life, really knocking down those power dynamics, but it has everything to do with saying, like, I don't want to represent that anymore. My feelings are no longer in that space, and I'd rather put my energy and time in this. On Tuesday the 21st, we have Mars sextile Pluto. Today will be important for you to remember that in order to solve big problems, sometimes a lot of input is needed, and all those differing opinions doesn't necessarily mean unity is not achievable. It's just about bringing those opinions together and finding the common unity, finding the common issue, because today we want to be able to keep our eye and our passion on the target so we can really gut out those negative feelings, that misuse of power. We really want to keep our eye on the target and bring those issues up to the surface so that they can be seen, so they can be witnessed, because this is going to help us confront that power dynamic, break down that structure, and help us really feel united in a greater way. So it's important to remember to have that greater sense of unity, both with yourself and with the world at large. It has everything to do with bringing all the the ugly up to the table, looking at all of it, acknowledging all of it, and really calling in other people. Like if you need help today to work through some of your personal issues, today is a day where maybe you do want to ask for help from other people. Maybe you do want other people's ideas and opinions to kind of help you work through a situation in your life. Or on a bigger level, it's like we need to acknowledge that everybody has their idea of what is ugly, what is bad, but when we can come together and accept and look at all of the ugly, we can really begin to work on these bigger structures and these structural issues and have a united world that we do want to live in, and one that will be longer lasting. But there can be a sense where it just feels like, oh my gosh, there's so many differing opinions. How are we ever going to achieve unity? But that's part of the process. So we have to be patient. And as well, like I said, on a personal level, it is about allowing yourself to say, like, I need to gut out this ugly. I really need to work through these issues. I don't need these structures in my life that support these negative, bad patterns. And so, like I said, if you need help today, if you need to reach out to somebody, I do astrology, I do tarot, I do Reiki, or if you need to reach out to anybody else, today can be a good day where you want to ask for help if you do really feel like you could use some other advice. That's all for this week's astrology report. If you'd like a personal reading, you can contact me at 11kaivarose33.com. If you'd like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/Kaiva Rose. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And other than that, please do make sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. And I wish you all a blessed